All right. We're back to talk about. I'm here with Michael Zuber. It is post-election. It's a couple of days after the presidential election, 2024. We're here to talk about what happened, Joe Rogan, podcast, the influencers, creators, digital media, all of it. Michael, dude, what a week.
Yeah, it's been a wild ride. Again, I think there are some encouraging signs. I think since you and I were young, so we're talking multiple decades, the news cycle, the media has been getting increasingly highly edited, highly sensationalized, culminating in a TikTok-like 60-second music, blah, 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 whatever. And I think that might be over. I think it might have run its course. I think something, post-election results, post the pollsters being wrong, long-form content, AKA Joe Rogan, 3-hour conversations, have proven to be perhaps more meaningful than a 90-second, highly edited, blip on mass media news. So I consider that a good thing. I think the TikTokification of doom and negative, because again, if you only have 30 or 45 or 3 minutes, it has to be scary. If you're going to get the views and all of that, it has to be scary. And the scarier and more negative, the better. I mean, as a content creator on YouTube, you have a choice. You can go negative and grow fast, or you could be authentic and grow slow. I believe the doomers have outlived their usefulness. They've chosen a path that grew fast, but maybe it's over. Maybe it's done, and people will rather have long form, not edited, mistakes included, from folks who admit mistakes. Where nobody's perfect. Nobody expects you to be perfect. But if you put it out there, you learn your lesson, you admit mistakes, you celebrate when you're right, and you're just a good dude who's inquisitive. Like a Joe Rogan conversation goes all over the place.
Yeah.
It's not a single thread. And and then you think about that. I mean, just think about the Trump and Rogan podcast. I think it's got like 43 million views on one platform. Then you go to X and Spotify. Then you go to the clips. Maybe 300 million views in a couple of weeks. That is what mainstream media couldn't dream of that.
Yeah.
So, and Rogan's obviously the biggest one, but I think it goes to all the others. And I hope I'm right. I hope the 90-second doom, highly edited TikTokification of content and doom is over. And maybe I'm certainly biased. I am certainly biased. But that's what I took away from the election. Is like, wow, maybe it's over. Maybe Ty, we're doing the right thing. Because again, as somebody who creates a lot of content, gets, a couple of thousand views, I have not been, I will admit, why don't we go negative and get 50,000 views? But that's just doesn't fill my cup. But, hopefully it's over.
Yeah. It's interesting in that I woke up the next day, and I shared this on another interview you and I did on the Financial News. But the day after the election, I woke up, of course, okay, there's some optimism about a new president. Okay, that's all fine and good. But I woke up more excited about the path I'm on with you doing this show and the stuff we do, the collaboration, the stuff, just that part of it. I was really excited. But it was really clear to me, traditional media, CNN, Fox, NBC, CBS, all of that got bypassed by YouTube, Facebook, Instagram, maybe TikTok,
Sure.
And again, just saying that traditional media just literally lost the election, and the winner of the election, of course, Trump, but more specifically, I would say that YouTube and the other social digital platforms. And I look at like not only like Rogan, but you look at like guys that are a little bit more obscure, like the Nelk Boys.
Yeah,
Do you know the Nelk Boys?
I did. Yeah, I do know them.
Yeah. And did you see? So like the Nelk Boys, they traveled around with Trump.
Yeah.
They do stuff, and typically, I wouldn't normally watch the Nelk Boys. It's not my demographic.
Right.
Although it's funny, but because they were doing some stuff with Trump and they were doing a little bit of like gags and funny, prank type stuff, prank videos. It was interesting that the Nelk, or even like Dana White, that his platform and just him doing his promotion. So I look at like the age of the influencer, the age of social media, and where we're at today, that clearly digital media and the influencer was a big winner in this election.
Yeah, I mean, you could even go, to the other side. I think there was an episode on Call Her Daddy and some other, podcasts. Yeah, I think it's long form, authentic conversations for the win. I think if you want to get to know someone, you can't do it in a 90-second scripted thing. I think people are smarter than that. I think they want to know who you are. They want to see how you tie stuff together. Again, you're never going to agree with everyone, but at least if you can see their logic and who they are as an authentic person and what was their, because when you have a 3-hour conversation, you get to know the person a little. You get to hear some stories. You can't fake 3 hours, right? You can't read a teleprompter for 3 hours. So I think long form non-media is great.
I wasn't thinking this pre-roll when we were going to do this, but I want to also just say something. And again, only because it's true, is that I look at a lot of the current today digital creator influencers, and specifically you're talking about the long form, which I completely agree. Long form content is superior. You get to know people. And I think of like, I look at something I said to you, I don't know, a couple months ago. You were on Ryan Pineda's show, which is a really big real estate influencer on YouTube. And I want to say it's a 60-minute conversation, something like that, which is probably one of the longer forms in our industry, real estate. That's kind of the longest I've seen. And it's actually like, he's been on air for 5 years. And it's like, I want to say his top 4, 5, 6 video of all time with a lot of views. I don't know. He has millions of views. I don't know how many that one has, but I know it's like in his top 5 or 6.
Yeah, I think it's in his top 5. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, it's got 300,000 or 400,000 views. Again, it's just a great way to get to know someone. And Ryan's a lot like Joe in that it's not scripted. We're not sent questions. You sit down and he just goes where he wants to go. Which is a lot of fun. I prefer that. Sometimes when you get invited places, they send you a list of questions, which I never want. And it's like, I don't need to go down this branch, right? Go wherever you want the conversation to go. Let's really have a meaty and interesting conversation.
Yeah. Spot on. Even too, I look at like Pace and Jamil and Brent Daniels and those guys. And as much as they do short form too, they also like have done tons and tons of 3-hour, 3-hour podcasts, 3-hour interviews, long form, or just get on there, and Pace has gone on there and just answered a bunch of questions where people get to know him. So it makes sense to see that, for those guys as well, to have such huge success in the digital world, as well as obviously doing the business, really doing the business. So,
yeah, it's encouraging to know, or at least feel, that what we're doing is leading somewhere positive. It's very encouraging.
Yeah, 100%. I want to just say one last thing in that, I said this on another, but I'll say it again because it's appropriate, is our friend Thatch Wynn, for years in the early days, Thatch having such a beautiful story coming to America and becoming a real estate millionaire. And, the intention was like getting on Oprah. And that next day after the election, I reached out to him and I was like, bro, you are the new Oprah. You are the new Oprah, bro. Like, you are it. You're already having millions and millions of people that you're impacting, globally. He's a global sensation, Thatch is. So, so many good things.
Absolutely. No question.
Any parting words, Michael, on this subject?
No, I just think again, if you're a small creator, and a lot of people that follow us are starting their journey, realize you're on the right road. Keep going. Don't be discouraged. The first year or so sucks for everyone. It's slow. Find your voice. Practice. Get 1% better every day, and just keep being a good person, and you will find your tribe. So keep going.
I love it. Michael, thank you for all that you do.